Hello and welcome to another Analysis Behind the News, where we provide the perspective that you can use to help save American liberty and independence. So last Wednesday, the New York Times published an anonymous bombshell that added further proof that many in the entrenched federal bureaucracy are operating in secret in opposition to what the electorate voted in 2016. Even though this person claims to like some of Trump's agenda, and even though the New York Times has classified this person to be a conservative, this anonymous person is doing exactly what Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden have suggested doing. Now, Alex Newman wrote about this in our first report on the deep state, which was published in January of this year. He wrote, Hillary Clinton and former Vice President Joe Biden have realized how important it is for bureaucratic deep state operatives to remain in place as they try to sabotage any semblance of the America First policies promised to voters by Trump. Biden, for example, said the bureaucrats call me all the time. The former VP said he responds by telling them, please stay, please stay. There has to be some competence and normalcy, he says. Clinton made similar remarks in September, urging federal employees to stick it out, because the tide has to turn. If Democrats can take back one or both houses of Congress in 2018, you will have people you can talk to again, Clinton declared while promoting her book, implying that they could not talk to their own boss that America elected in 2016. At least 78 of Obama's political appointees have also burrowed into top-level civil service jobs where they essentially cannot be removed, according to a report from the Government Accountability Office. Now, many of the concerns about our current president, as brought up by this anonymous individual, aren't unique to this presidency. There have long been public and private stories of staff and officials doing what they can to protect the president from, well, himself. Two of the most well-known are John F. Kennedy and Bill Clinton, that mostly stem from their infidelity. Yet, the less known is the Bay of Pigs debacle that saw some CIA officials deliberately sabotage the invasion plan. The anonymous individual ends the op-ed with these two sentences. There is a quiet resistance within the administration of people choosing to put country first. But the real difference will be made by everyday citizens rising above politics, reaching across the aisle, and resolving to shed the labels in favor of a single one, Americans. Really. And how is this resistance putting the country first? Is it standing up against those that are beating the war drums to see our military sucked into another unconstitutional war? Is it advocating a return to sounder fiscal policies? Is it suggesting a return to the principles that laid this country's foundation, namely, constitutionally limited government that protects our God-given rights and our country's independence? Does it call for a return to an educated electorate and more responsibility from citizens? Or does it seek the path for Americans to become global citizens by shedding our sovereignty to unaccountable layers of government outside our own, to first be part of a regional union and then into a new international architecture that builds a new world order in which there are no borders and no national identities? Well, while you're waiting for those answers from the resistance, perhaps a report released last month from the Government Accountability Office can answer for them. Christian Gomez wrote last week at the newamerican.com, a startling new government report reveals an unprecedented level of collaboration on the integration of the energy sectors of all three North American countries, paving the way for a North American Union energy infrastructure. The 59-page report published by the U.S. Government Accountability Office for the House of Representatives Subcommittee on the Western Hemisphere documents in detail the progress of 8 government agencies and departments in integrating the energy sectors of Canada, Mexico, and the United States. The report, entitled North American Energy Integration, Information about Cooperation with Canada and Mexico and among U.S. agencies, was discreetly posted on the GOA website in August 2018, likely with the hopes that it would go unnoticed. According to the GAO study, increased U.S. energy trade with Canada and Mexico, 2 of the United States' top energy partners, is viewed as a major contribution to U.S. economic prosperity and energy security, end quote. In other words, Christian Gomez writes, American sovereignty must be sacrificed in order to help the country be prosperous and have secure energy sources. Further into the article, Mr. Gomez writes, as I get to it, as for the new NAFTA renegotiations, the report stated that it would have very little effect on North American energy integration. State and DOE officials we interviewed said they did not expect the U.S. renegotiation of NAFTA and withdrawal from the Paris Agreement to have a significant impact, and stated that the energy sector in North America is already well integrated, the report stated. So, where is the resistance on this issue? Or is this one of those ties that bind us to allied, like-minded nations, as the anonymous individual wrote in his or her critique of Trump's foreign policy? Folks, what we are witnessing is the deep state, or steady state, or establishment, or insider, or conspiracy, or big government, whatever label you want to put on them, actually hiding in the open. The large policy reversal from Obama to Trump has smoked out the other side. They are brazenly calling out the damage done to globalist policies as though it was an attack on Americanism. Now, we know better, but what about your friends, your family, your neighbors, your community leaders, your local business owners, and your elected officials? If you're not passing along this information to them, who is? We recommend getting copies of our deep state reports, of which we have 2, and ask them to help protect American independence by contacting President Trump and Congress to get us out of NAFTA, which is the initial building block for a North American Union. So all links are in the video description, and also look there for a free special report, which is a download, on the building of the North American Union, which we published nearly a decade ago. And as usual, please like and share this video and subscribe to our social media channels and news alerts. Until next time, we'll see you then.